is generational order. Okay, next click. So in generational order, it ties in with this, right? Now, what do you think I mean when I say generational order? Oldest to youngest. What else? Okay. In this relationship of these 4 women, who would she be? Child, check. Who would this be? Okay. Mother. Grandmother. Okay, so you see the order? Do you think that great-grandmother at some point was, right? So the first in the generational order is a child, right? Then every child becomes what? A parent or adult, right? And then the parents and adults become elders. Check. So this process right here doesn't change. I don't have to know your mother and father to know that you have one. Check. I know everybody in here has a mother and father. I know everybody in here had a grandmother, grandfather. Whether you knew them or not, you had one. And they had one. And you could give me the greatest grandparent that you can find, and I know without a doubt that at one point that person was once a child. So this process, this cycle, has it changed? No, it still exists. Huh? Right, it's a never-ending cycle. It doesn't change. And every child becomes a parent, and every parent ultimately becomes an elder, right? And so what occurred, or what has caused the problem in today's society, is there's a breakdown in the generational order. And so we have to reestablish those things. We have to rebuild it. That's why, going back to this, the reason that parent was having so much trouble, that once this child gains independence and discover that they have power, they're really looking for that same love and connection that they had back here. But so many parents are going, he's 12 years old. What does he want me to do? Celebrate that he took out the trash? He wants me to be happy he did his homework? He's supposed to do his homework. And it's like, yes, you're supposed to acknowledge that. How many of y'all in here is like, wait a minute, you gave her points, you didn't give me one? This is a room full of grown folk with degrees and all kinds of stuff. And you're like, excuse me, Mr. Barker, it's about to be a problem if I don't get my 20 points. Check. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. It doesn't go away. But the reason it's there is the only way that I can become you is I have to have you engage me. And the only way I'm going to get you to engage me is I got to get your attention. Once I get your attention, you tell me what to do, and I'll work with you. If you ignore me, right? If I tell Crystal, sit down, and she doesn't sit down, and I say, Crystal, I'm not going to tell you anymore, sit down. Negative energy. Right? And then she gets up, and I go, okay, didn't I tell you to sit down? I'm going to tell your daddy, sit down now. Okay. Lord, this is my last time. I'm not going to tell you anymore. And then they do it, and then you reach for the shoe and they sit down. But why did they sit down when you reach for the shoe versus all the times you said sit down? Why was that more impactful than just saying sit down?
They saw that you had an expectation in their time.
They anticipated danger. There's a threat on the horizon. I better sit down. Thank you. So it really wasn't so much about what you were saying, but the message was clear. It's going to happen. Sit down or something. So let's just look at that real quick. So when I said, Crystal, sit down, did she sit down? Okay. I said, Crystal, sit down. Okay, I'm not going to tell you anymore. This is my last time telling you. Now I'm starting to get a little heated, right? So now I'm above the tolerance line. Then I reach for the shoe. What happens? And the behavior drops, right? So right here, this is normal behavior, right? This is escalation up to the boiling point, right? And then the behavior drops, and then a new behavior stops. Don't do that. Leave your sister alone. Quit touching each other. Lord have mercy. Then I tell you, I'm going to kill you. And then they sit down, right? And so this becomes the pattern of behavior of interaction between a child and the adult. And then what happens is, the more you do that, the intervals get closer and closer together. Don't do that. And it just keeps happening from one thing to the other. Can you imagine the stress that's occurring here? Now check this out. When the intervals get close together, what does this look like up here? He don't do nothing I tell him. I mean, all I do is all day long argue and fuss. But the bad part of this is, if I reach for the shoe and I happen to be barefooted and I'm in the kitchen cooking and he don't sit down, and I reach and grab the toaster and I throw it and hit him in the head, now we got a whole nother set of circumstances. Because I'm sitting across the desk talking to the detectives going, I never would have done that. I don't know what happened. Check. And so I'm operating up here. I done just lost all connection with reality and balance in my experience, because I'm up here and there's nothing in my environment or community of people that I interact with that will give me what the elders used to give to me, where the elder would used to come in and say, look here, Peaches and Herb, y'all go ahead and go to the movies. We're going to watch the babies. See, Grandma and them used to do that because they could see something was coming. They say, you know what, y'all going to go enjoy yourself. We'll watch the kids, right? But now you can go to Grandma and say, whew, I've been working so hard and I'm tired and I got school. Can you watch the kids? No, I'm going. Excuse me? You better watch the kids yourself. I'm going to the club.